Hey, friends. If you're here watching this replay, thank you so much for stopping by, both here on YouTube and Periscope. My name is Svava Brooks. I am a trauma recovery coach. Excuse me. And I am here Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live to support my fellow survivor thrivers as we work our way through my book, one page, one day, sometimes one breath at a time. So if you'd like to learn more about my one-on-one coaching, please feel free to visit my website, svavabrooks.com, and send me a private message, and I would be privileged to support you if I can. But if you're here live, right here, right now, please say hello. Please let me know that you're here so I can welcome you. We are definitely going to start our time together today just to do a check-in. Where are you in the world and how are you doing? How are you feeling? These are hard times for all of us, and it is definitely important that we check in with ourselves and check in with each other. So, hey, Sue. Hey, friend. Thank you for those beautiful flowers. How are you doing? Hey, Rachel. Hey, Rob. How are you guys? I can see the theme here. Hey, Wanda. I got my Wanda over here on on Periscope. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friend, for being there. Glad you're here. Are you traveling, Wanda? Okay, your YouTube is acting stupid, says Wanda. So she's hanging out on Periscope right now. No worries. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for letting me know. I was having a challenge too when I was logging on. Periscope was telling me my signal wasn't very good, so I was going to just play it by ear here. But just before I hit live, I got the recording up. So I guess I'm very glad, since that otherwise you wouldn't have been able to be here with us today. I'm glad to get to give you hearts. Thank you. Thanks, Wanda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sharon is here. How are you guys? If you didn't hear me before I just started, I was just saying, why don't we start by just checking in with ourselves? How are we doing today, right? Just this moment. I don't know if you saw my post in the Journey to the Heart Facebook group today, but I was feeling the feels. Hey, friend, welcome. I was definitely feeling the full range of emotions starting yesterday afternoon into the evening, and then again this morning feeling it. But it helped to write about it. It helped to share it. It helped to get it out. Yes, it is terrible. Thank you for that comment. Absolutely. Things are hard. It's even hard to find words right now to express what we're seeing in the world, what we're hearing in the world. So what I did for myself, and I don't know if that supported anybody. Excellent. Wanda says, I am better than I have been. Journaling has helped. You're not alone there, right? Who can relate, right? I actually resisted a little bit in the beginning of last few weeks to journal, and then I was like, no, this is it. Whatever I'm feeling, sometimes just putting my pen in my hand and just like, no need to edit. Whatever is coming out needs to come out. So it is definitely has helped me as well, Wanda. And I'm so grateful that you've been sharing some of your journaling, because sometimes when one person can't write, somebody else has that connection maybe for the day. And when we share, or that person shares their journaling, you are giving other people voice. You are holding a space for others, putting into words. Right? Exactly. Wanda says, it helps me see and realize my reality. Exactly. Writer's block. Yep. That's definitely that true. So, but for me too, the writing was as part of my healing after trauma was I didn't dare putting stuff on paper because I put it on the paper, then it was the truth. And some of the stuff, some of the big realizations about my childhood trauma, I wasn't ready to face yet. So, and plus, um, it was still my secret, right? So putting it down there, I had to accept, yes, this did happen. So yeah, I think we're all having to kind of explore all our tools, all our go-to. I'm definitely practicing all my tools right now. I'm so grateful. And then at the same time recognizing it's like, wow, there's some things being triggered that I have not felt for a long time, like voices. Some, I don't want to know if it's necessarily. I don't think it's not my inner critic. I can definitely say my inner children, my inner parts. A few of them I'm starting to hear again, and I have not heard from them in a long time because things have been pretty good. So, right, not only has this outside world taken a lot more, my inside world is needing a lot more tending to. So I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon. Where are you from, my friend? I had a friend here in Periscope ask where I'm coming from. Thank you. I have my assistant right here. She is on cue. Thank you, Wanda. So we have someone from Texas. Well, you have a lot of people in this space between Periscope and YouTube. We have great memories from Texas, and one of our favorite few of our favorite people. I know a few favorite people in Texas. So I'm glad you're here. So Sue says, doing okay, except for the family situation that I wrote about. And yes, sharing has helped. So need to journal. Yes. Sue says, I've not been able to journal for a while. I hear you. You're not alone, Sue. You're not alone. You're not alone, my friend. So, and what I was sharing earlier, recognizing that, for me, usually when my inner child starts to act out, it's when there's something uncertainty happening in my life. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, or right, or I'm trying something new. But right now, it makes sense that my inner child is acting out because this is totally new. I don't have an answer. I don't know what to expect here. None of us does. But what I can do is to acknowledge, what my inner child is feeling in my body, the uncertainty, right? Being that parent that I am, and I've learned to be, is to comfort and support her. See, there you go, right? Hey, friend from Texas. I don't see Sue comments. I actually have YouTube and Periscope going on right now at the same time. So thank you, Wanda, for helping. Yes, exactly. Right? This healing journey is that daily practice, right? That daily practice, daily commitment. And we're all work in progress. And there's some days where we master things, master handling whatever is going on in here, doing all the things. And then there are times when, like, no, for some reason, I'm not getting through to doing that. So, well, I'm glad that me sharing my imperfections with you, Wanda, inspired you as well. So, hey, Nancy. Hey, friend. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just checking in. We're just taking a minute here to acknowledge how we are doing, what's going on with us right here, right now. Iceland is doing pretty well. Iceland is doing okay, I'd say. Not necessarily very well, but okay. I was actually just checking on the airlines this morning because I have a trip booked to Iceland in the beginning of May. So keeping my fingers crossed, but we'll see. Let's see. Rachel made a comment here. I feel like I've been too busy to check in with myself, and I do feel unsettled, scared, and concerned. I hear you. I hear you, Rachel. Can we give Rachel some acknowledgement that she is not alone? She goes on to say here, I had to go to the market again today, and the majority of people, myself included, where we're wearing gloves and masks. So surreal, like being in a movie. You are not alone, my friend. Not alone. So, hey, friends, just to let my Periscope friends know, I'm also interacting with my people on YouTube. So, I'm glad you're here. And also, if you're curious about the YouTube chat conversation, the link is in my Periscope profile. So, but I'm glad you're here. How are you doing? So, thank you. Yes, Nancy. Nancy, thank you. You made it. The universe is helping you. So glad you're here. So glad you made it. All right, Lady Leo, Wanda is here. Now I see Sue on Periscope. We're doing musical chairs on the internet right now. So thank you, Rob, and Sue, for validating Rachel, right? I feel similar, and also was at the shops today. First time in the UK I've seen people wear masks. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. Yes, Wanda is our Lady Leo. She is our Lady Leo. Periscope is working for Sue. All right. Check, check. Awesome. So remember, my friends, as we continue our time here today to do a check-in with yourself, maybe we should just start with a little bit of grounding and a few deep breaths, taking advantage of the opportunity that we're here together, and doing that together sets the tone for our experience being here together. Now you can hear me in stereo, Sue. So why don't we start with just calming down our bodies? I'm gonna get my hair out of the way here. So let's just take 3 deep breaths together. How about that? And then on your last inhale, really fill your lungs and get your diaphragm pushing down. If you can breathe all the way into your gut. And as you exhale, just with your intention, letting go of anything that's circling around your head right now, anything that is maybe circling around your heart right now, and any weight, tension that you may be feeling in your gut or your lower back. Maybe put one hand on your heart and the other hand on your stomach. And as we come back to our normal breath, Let's just take a minute here. Just take a minute and let your body feel the warmth from your hands. Let this sweet, sweet body that is so good at protecting you, that is so good at holding you safe, that does so without even needing to check in with you. We can let it know, and the words that support you, that resonate with you, you can let your sweet body know. I am here, I am here, I am here. This is also your intention, right? To be here. I hear you. I feel you. I see you, right? I see you from the inside out. So just notice. We quickly scan our bodies as you let that warmth from your hand slowly expand into your body. Where are you holding some tension today? Yes, your body's working so hard, right? These are uncertain times. But if just for this moment, we can check in with our bodies and give it a break for just this moment. Is it the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders? And if you can just direct some warmth and your attention to that part of your body, your heart, your lower back, your stomach, or your lower body or your feet. I've been doing a lot of checking in with my body lately as an empath, and that's what I wrote about this a little bit this morning, is that I feel a lot. Right? It's a blessing and a curse, meaning it's like I'm sometimes sorting out, is this me? Is this my stuff, or is this other people's stuff? So again, this is where doing mindfulness and meditation and some inner reflection helps me to sort out what is me and what's going on out here. I hear you, Nancy. She shares, my heart is in New York. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. And our hearts are with you. Our hearts are with you. Hey, Periscope friends, thank you so much for being here. I'm just leading my friends here on Periscope and YouTube to do a short checking in with our bodies. So as we come back here into this moment, check in with yourself. On the scale from 1 to 10, are you feeling better now than when we started? Do you notice a little bit of maybe your body relaxed, even with just a tiny little bit? Do you feel warmer in your body? Does the head maybe slow down a little bit? Let me know how this supported you. It's important that we reflect a little bit when we do this. Excellent. I'm glad you found it relaxing. It's as important to reflect on afterwards as it sometimes is before we go into it, because then we are reiterating, we are creating a new narrative about, yes, there is something that I can do. I am sorry, my friend. Please keep the conversation on topic. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Wanda. Yes, I hear you. I hear you, right? Our hearts and prayers are with all those people, are with all those people that are showing up and helping, right, in those hospitals, the paramedics, all the caregivers that are out there on the front line, literally on the front line, saving lives, tending to those that are sick. So sending you lots of love, sending you lots of love to both of you. It is hard when people that we know are out there in this uncertainty. So excellent. Sue shared feels a bit more relaxed, particularly my shoulders. Excellent. Thank you for sharing, Sue. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I wanted to set up our conversation today. Like I said, we were going to start by checking in with ourselves, see how we're doing, um, honor the truth of where we are right here, right now, because this is it, right? This is the reality. And only from this reality can we deal with um, whatever is going on out here, while in this space that we are co-creating together, we're also taking a look at how our past keeps showing up in our lives. How can we help these wounded parts of ourselves that have taken on the stories and the beliefs and the memories about the past that are also often held in our bodies? How can we support ourselves and them to be seen, to be heard, to be, accepted, so they can release and let go, and so we can, move forward, living wholeheartedly and fully without the baggage or the pain and the struggle of the past. So today, right, if I start with the conversation here, we won't be able to do anything about toxic relationships in our life until we make peace with our inner child. This is because our precious child is standing in the way. Abused trained your inner child to parent or protect toxic people, right? We had no choice. This was kind of a survival strategy, right? We couldn't walk away from our caregivers or the people hurting us as children. And so we normalized and made it okay, and often at our expense, right? These beliefs we took on as children are the ones we kind of need to sort out and evaluate to be able to reassess and to let go, because they no longer serve us. So this child needs to learn that it's not your responsibility. You won't be able to set healthy ground rules and firm boundaries with toxic people until you do this first. So the two questions that I asked in our group today: when you ask your inner child about toxic people in your life, what does that child say about them? The first question. And the second question is, what does your inner child say when you tell this child it no longer needs to protect or parent these people? So Scrolling down here, Wanda shared her comment. Thank you so much. Before I do, I'm catching up here on the chat here. Lady Leo says, it did relax me some. I must really work on the stress in my shoulders. My son touched my shoulders the other day and said it feels like bricks. I hear you, Lady Leo. You're not alone. You are not alone. So, right, the more we can become aware of our bodies, become aware of how we're holding our bodies, right? I'm going to hold up my little cue card here, right? If we can't catch the thinking, but we maybe catch how we're feeling. If we catch how we're feeling, and sometimes we can't feel it right away, but if we do regular body scans, then we can wait a minute, my shoulders are so tight, I don't know what's going on. And then by lowering our shoulders, right, finding a way to bring calm, even if it's just for a moment, to relax a little bit, and then we can get in touch with perhaps. Rachel says, it brought tears. It helped me to connect deeper with what I'm feeling. I found deep down I'm searching for security. And so doing my best to help myself. I hear you. Thank you, Nancy. I hear you, Rachel. So can we validate, Rachel, she is not alone. You are not alone, my friend. This is the underlying issue for all of us, for the whole human race, I'd say right now, searching for security in an uncertain time. It's going to is hard. And it is so, so hard. So beautiful job of recognizing you are comforting yourself right here, right now. So, and thank you for sharing it with us, because you are not alone, my friend. Not alone. We are in this together. We are in this together. So Wanda shared with us her response to today's journal was, she said, since I don't currently have any toxic people in my life, I am walking and sitting into my hugest fear, asking my teen self to express how she feels. That is huge, my friend. That is big. She says, I hear she was more scared than angry, but recognizes and sees that I no longer surround myself or tolerate toxicity in my life. I hear her trusting me today, that she feels safe and believes me when I say I am doing everything in my power to be the adult that was needed. Beautiful. Beautiful, Wanda. Thank you so much. Are you having trouble, Wanda? Is the signal giving us a hard time? I think we're all struggling a little bit with the technology. I know that both Facebook and YouTube put out that we're going to lower the quality of their video, and so I think we're working with what we got here. So, but I wanted to acknowledge you, sweet Wanda. I'm so proud of you. I know you have been working towards this connection with your inner teenager for a while now. And, right, and I know from experience, I remember how scary it was, right? How frightening it was to turn inwards, to face the part of me that I knew some things that I'd rather not remember again or to relive or to feel. So I am proud of you. I'm so happy for both of you, both for for you and your inner child. Because, right, this is a gift for both of you. It's a gift for her now that she feels seen and heard by you. And you are starting to feel that she trusts you and that she knows the truth, that you are doing your best, even when we don't know what we're doing, right? I had no idea how to reparent myself. I did not know how to parent. I had to start all over again, right? In the midst of raising kids, to also reparent myself and my inner child that definitely got in the way sometimes of me being a mom. She was not happy that I was giving my children love and attention and compassion, that she was like, this is not fair. Was upsetting. But over time, once these inner parts, they learn to trust us because we are consistent, and we tell them even when they're angry with us, I am here. I believe in you. I'm not going to turn away from you. I'm going to sit with you, and I'm going to keep coming back until you believe me, until you trust me. Because it makes a lot of sense that we don't trust the people closest to us. We didn't. I didn't. So my inner children were like, yeah, you can come check in, but you're going to have to prove yourself that you're actually going to do what you say you're going to do. You're going to be there for me. You're going to take care of me. You're going to protect me. You're going to listen to me. So, uh, so Wanda, I'm celebrating you, my friend. So beautiful. So, and thank you so much for sharing with us. So let's see here. Sue also shared with us today. Sue said, I have a difficult relationship with my adult daughter, which at times has been really toxic. And over time, I have worked to be able to maintain healthy, loving boundaries with her. On Sunday, she contacted me and she had a very sore throat and a bit of a cough and felt really poorly. But her boss had told her she must go to work the next day. I advised caution, but she insisted it was just a cold and said nobody was supporting her. The rest of the family are not really in contact because of the way she has been towards them. Since then, I've been unable to contact her in any way. I am fairly sure she has the virus. I've sent her link to a local support group. She lives 250 miles away, but there's nothing more that I can do. I hear you, my friend. Sue goes on to say here, my adult self knows I have done all that I can do, but the wounded younger part of me is desperate to be able to do something for her. It's taking time to reassure that part of me that I'm no longer responsible for her. And not doing something is not about whether I love her or not. And until I started to write this out, I didn't realize how much it was affecting me. I hear you. I hear you, my friend Sue. That is hard. It is very hard. So I hear you. I see you. I feel you, right? It's one of those things you have no control over. She is a grown up now, right? You have sent her the information. You've given her some of encouragement and you've tried to check in with her. So I hear you. And we can send her love, right? We can send her love. And also, what I mentioned in my comment in reply to your share in the group was to remind you, right? Is that, I had some healing to do when it came to looking back at not knowing better when I started my healing journey and was raising my kids. So, and it's uncertainty again. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Um, but to be able to right, to accept, right, that there were parts that I wish I could do over again, but I can't go back. I can't fix it. I can't change the past. But I knew in my heart of heart that I was doing everything humanly possible to heal my heart and my body and my spirit now, right? As much as I could, as fast as I could, because with that I was also releasing my children from the burden of that, multi-generational, how trauma gets passed down. And I want to celebrate you, Sue. You are doing that. I have seen you, I hear you, I know you, and I know you're doing that. And your hard work to heal yourself is also healing your children. They may never know. They may never know, and they may never understand. But I want you to know, I know you are doing the best you can. And being in an abusive, dysfunctional relationship, doesn't matter who that person is, it's not helpful for anybody. Never. So, yeah, you're welcome. And I've shared with you some of my hardest relationships. I love the person and I will always love the person, but doesn't mean that I can have them in my life. And it hurts. I've had to grieve the loss of, I can even feel the tears right here behind my eyeballs. Exactly. That I will always love them. They will always be very important to me in my life. But who they are and how they treat me um is not acceptable, and I can't allow it. It's not good for me and it's not good for them. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for um, validating Sue. You are not alone, my friend. And thank you, Wanda. Thank you, thank you, thank you, you guys. This is why we're here, right? To hold the safe space for each other, to acknowledge some of this stuff is not fun or pretty, and it's messy. Very messy at times. So thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Let's see. Nancy gave me permission to share her comments today. She had a couple comments here. First, she said, my 12-year-old inner child is always certain that my stepfather is the only toxic person in her life. She was terrified that she would not be believed and kept silent until she was a teenager. I hear you, Nancy. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know you already know this, but can we, validate Nancy and remind her, right? You're not alone. How many of us here did not tell what happened to us as children, until we got way older because of those similar beliefs, right? That there was something wrong with us, that we did something bad, or that we wouldn't be believed. That's actually one of the points that I really try to drive home when I'm educating adults about child sexual abuse and prevention. I talk a lot about that kids, because most kids don't hear any adults talk about this openly, meaning like how it happens and, that we can say no. And I know times have changed, right? And this is more out in the open and more parents are having these conversations, but it isn't until children hear these words come out of someone they know and trust and they know that they could go to, they will walk around with, I don't think that I'm going to be believed here, right? Because we also know 90% of kids that are abused, or 90% of kids that are abused by someone they know and trust. So, right? So to remember those things, even though, right, we walk around with that feeling of not being believed. And then how does that feeling of worrying about not being believed, how does that spill over into other things in your life? Right? It took me a long time to kind of trace back that chronic belief and thinking in the back of my mind. No, I better not say anything. No one believes me anyways. It's not important what I have to say. So I thought it was interesting, right? How those beliefs, those thoughts that we take on as children, exactly, we don't trust. We don't trust. We don't think our voice matters, that our story matters, that we matter. So, and the other piece, so thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing that. You're not alone. Hope, right, that you are, and I know you are working with your child and sitting with her and reminding her again that you are here now. You are the parent and the protector. And you also share here that once you told your mother and she believed you, you swore you would never, right? I'm going to read this how Nancy wrote it. Once I told my mother and she believed me, I swore I would never let myself be in an abusive relationship again. In my early 40s, my husband had a stroke and became abusive. I stayed in the relationship until he died of a heart attack 4 years later. It still baffles me, she said. So, right, I am so sorry. So sorry, Nancy. That sounds like that was really, really hard. Really hard. Really hard times. And what is interesting, right, about trauma, thank you, Wanda. And what is interesting, right, about trauma is that the unresolved tension pattern, thoughts and beliefs, all these different systems that are working inside of our bodies still hang on to that unresolved tension in our body. And until sometimes, and we may not know what or when or how, something triggers it, right? Clearly, right? You had someone that then started treating you poorly, right? We find ourselves in situations that, are not helpful or supportive, that maybe remind us of some of the environment and how we were treated in the past. So again, it's like we normalize our body because we are resilient and we do whatever we have to do to survive. Our body will, like I said, normalize whatever abuse we grew up with. And I've shared that with you guys, before, I have, as an 8 out of a 10 on the adverse childhood experience Study. Yes. Yes. Sue, um, was that I had normalized my childhood, the poor treatment that I received, basically never feeling safe in my house, never really feeling safe around the people closest to me, never really feeling heard or seen or valued or appreciated. And then, when I was um, my first marriage, whom I think most of you guys know about by now, that I found myself in a relationship where, right, in the back of my mind, I guess this is as good as it's gonna get. And um, there was no consideration for it not being, you know, um, that I had a choice. And I think that's what it is. It's like, okay, I guess this is it. Like, this is what I saw modeled growing up, with my parents being in a dysfunctional marriage. And so I guess this is it. And also not having a sense of self, my value, my worth, knowing that I could speak up. This was before I started any of my healing. I'm fine now. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. No need to drag that all up, right? So little did I know that it wasn't until I actually started my healing and said, yes, I'm willing to understand the impact of trauma. I'm ready to understand the impact it has had on all my relationships, how I feel about myself, how I feel about the world, how I think about myself, how I feel about myself, how I see myself, right? All the aspects that I really started getting, okay, all right. Not going to get overwhelmed. We're just going to take one piece at a time, but understanding how that compulsion in our biology kind of drives us on autopilot to recreate some of the situation we grew up with because we're trying to resolve it. Your body is trying to resolve it. And so, like I've shared with you guys here, so much of the resolution came. Yes, I had done a lot of the mental health work, the emotional health work, the spiritual work, but a lot of it came once I started connecting it with my body, once I started becoming more embodied, connected to this new way of being from the core of myself. And that's, I know, is hard for all humans. We live in a culture where most of us live up here, and especially if we have trauma, we live up here and we are very good at accommodating other people. So thank you. Wanda says, Nancy, my abuse started at age 6, and I didn't speak a word to anyone until in my late 20s. I commend that brave teenager. Yes, exactly. She was brave. That was very brave of her. And Sue says here, maybe a sense of no escape again. It's how I felt in my abusive marriage. Yep. I totally get it. And it explains, right? We all hear, right, why people don't leave relationships even if they're abusive. It's like, well, this is normal. This is what you know. Right? I was hardwired to thrive in dysfunction. That's what I hung out with my whole childhood into my adulthood. So I knew how to do that. I didn't trust people that were loving and caring and kind towards me. I'm like, what do you want from me? Right? You treat me poorly. I was more comfortable with that. That has changed, thank goodness. And I know it has changed for so many of us, all of us here, I think. Let's see here. Rachel says, yes, my family is filled with dysfunctional marriages. Between that and the emotional disconnect I experienced growing up, I haven't married. I hear you. I hear you, Rachel. She says, I'm open to it, but I too get feelings of anxiety, panic about being trapped in a bad relationship. I hear you. I hear you, Rachel. Absolutely. You are not alone, my friend. You are not alone. And I want to celebrate you. You're doing a beautiful job. Yes, exactly, Sue. You're doing a beautiful job now, right? Taking responsibility for understanding yourself, understanding how the lack of nurturing or emotional support and attachment from your caregivers growing up has contributed to this, right? And again, that there wasn't something wrong with you, right? There's nothing wrong with any of us. There's nothing wrong with you. You're doing a brilliant job, beautiful job, considering all that you went through, right? One day, one page, one breath at a time. We are taking all of the uncertainty, all the old stories, all the toxic feelings, confusion, the shame and the guilt, putting it out here, taking it outside, giving it a voice, speaking truth to it, understanding, wait, separating who you are from your coping mechanism, the behaviors, who you think you are from the truth. And then we get to choose, what do I want to keep from what I learned growing up? Who am I? Who is Svava? Who is Sue? Who is Nancy? Who is Rachel? What do I want to choose? The power of your choices, the power of your intention to start to focus on what you can do, knowing that in your heart of hearts, you are a beautiful, kind, generous, creative, wise, amazing human being. And that we need you. We need each other. We need your unique, authentic self. And so I encourage you to choose that. Keep choosing that. Keep choosing that, right? In a world that wants us just all to fit in a box. Oh, all the shoulds. We are all work in progress, my friend. Yes, Rachel says, I am healing and growing, but still feel like my woundedness will get in the way of having a healthy, long lasting relationship. We will see, only God knows. Absolutely right, my friend. Absolutely. But my suggestion to all of us, right, is that we learn to love us. Like we fill this container up of love. We know what it feels like and sounds like to love ourselves, and we know how to fill ourselves up. So when we are finding out there seeking a partner, we are looking for a partner that brings his full cup into the relationship, right? Yes, humans need each other. Of course, there's a give and take. But when we have filled our hearts and we know who we are, we're more likely to find someone that matches that, instead of when we go out there empty and broken and want someone, we hand someone our heart because, can you love me? Can you fix me? Can you approve of me? Can you validate me? That's when we sometimes get into trouble. I know I did. I was desperate. I sold my body and my soul for love, for relationships, for being part of something. It didn't work. It didn't work. So Rachel, you are doing a beautiful job. You're exactly where you should be or need to be. I don't like shoulds. Yes, exactly. right? You're learning to reparent, to become the adult, to become the parent. That's the greatest gift that we get from parenting our inner child, is that we actually develop a sense of adult self. We develop into that caring, loving, kind, loving and firm on the boundaries to our inner child, to our inner teenager, right? And when we master that, then we also can master that from out here. When someone is trying to come into your life and they, yes, come in a very, handsome package, but you can feel their inner child manipulated, or is manipulating, or demanding, or bossy, or throwing tantrums like a 10-year-old or a 4-year-old, then you can see it. Their inner child is running the show. And none of us, right? We should all be parenting ourselves. None of us should be parenting other people in our relationships. So you're doing a great job, Rachel. You're doing a great job. So thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you joined us for today. You are not alone. And thank you so much for your sharing with us. So our time is almost up here, and I drew a card for us today. You're welcome, Rachel. You're welcome, my friend. One day, he or she woke up and understood that everything is a gift, and so is she. So I don't know, did you need that gentle reminder today? Did you need to be reminded that you are the gift? You are the gift to your inner child. You are the gift to your body, to heal and to love and appreciate your body, right? Through our self-care, to understand why I'm being intentional of being kind towards my body, the why, right? Treat yourself as you are a gift, because you are, my friend. You are a precious, precious gift. And I want to thank you for being a gift in my life, for being here with me, and to be here with all of us in this group, in this space. Because your presence is felt, it matters, you matter, your voice matter. And we are so grateful for you. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Wanda, for validating Rachel. That's so awesome, Wanda. Thank you so much. So happy for you. So happy for you. So thank you, sweet friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I hear you. I see you. I feel you. Please be gentle with your bodies, especially right now. Do your best to take some self-compassion breaks, some mindfulness breaks, or go out in nature and use the group to check in. It's a place to be real, just to be you, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're feeling. Just be you. Just be you. That's right, Rachel. That's right, Sue. This is how we support each other, right? In the beginning, I had no idea. I didn't think there was a chance for me to heal, right? And then we are here holding that safe space, that loving reminder until you believe it. Until you believe that you too, my friend, are worthy of healing, that you are that gift that we see in you. All right, sweet friends, have a lovely rest of the day and a good evening to our European friends. And so I think I'll mention it here. I'm back here on Thursday, same time, same place, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have been going live inside the Journey to the Heart group, just offering some extra support right now during these challenging weeks. I don't know if I will keep on doing that forever, but I'm happy to do that. And I'm also playing those meetings by ear, checking in with myself, and also taking a break when I'm feeling like I need to rest as well. So thank you, sweet friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When we share from the heart like this, you have no idea whose life you just changed. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, sweet friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.